Hello and welcome everyone again to another video. And today's video we have the best teams to hit legend with in season 19 in the Open Ultra League. If you are struggling, if you are not climbing and you want a good team for yourself to climb, this is the video you're looking for. This is the best video that will help you out. And today's video we're going to be talking about the top teams in the Open Ultra League. And Open Ultra League is basically legendaries, XLs, as long as they are 2500 CP. These are like common Pokemons that you will see there. Let's just talk about the main codes. I'm just going to talk like briefly because I've talked about this like in the previous videos. So in today's video, it's just about like to sum up like the solid teams from this season. Good leads, some decent leads that I've been seeing is Pidgeot, Annihilate, and as Alolan Sandslash and Talonflame. Good safe swap, Feraligatr, Poliwrath, Jellicent, Shadow Drapion, and the most obnoxious one, Greedent. Greedent is so annoying. I freaking hate this Pokemon. Every time I save swap, they bring in a Greedent. I'm like, you don't even win this. You're just going to like torture me for 5 minutes in a game. You know that you don't win, but all you know is that you can keep spamming Body Slam every 4 stupid seconds. Generals are Pokemon that are good everywhere. A good example, Registeel, Giratina. Giratina has been the Giratina and Cress. I swear, those have been meta since the day they released them. Like, I don't call ever an Ultra League meta where, like, either of those are bad. So, if you are new to the league, invest in those two before anything. Then Greedent. Those three combined can never be bad, okay? It doesn't matter how they nerf them. They will never do it because they aren't OP enough to be ban-worthy. But they are OP, okay? Tapu Fini has joined them after they gave it Nature's Madness. So, according to PvP, the best Pokemon is Registeel, followed by Feraligatr, then Giratina altered. Tapu Fini joined the top 4. It used to be like top 30 after getting Nature's Madness. Zygarde is still there. If you have an Ultra League Zygarde, it's actually decent. Pidgeot, the most annoying one. Greedent is the most obnoxious. Pidgeot is the most annoying one. Stuff like Cobalion, Empoleon, and again, Empoleon is a Shadow 1. Now, we talked about the PvP ranking, but the ranking I want to talk about is the top performers from PvP. Top performers mean those like do well against the most condensed meta. Like the meta is, let's say, 300 Pokemons, but people only use 5, 10, 15, 20 at max. Those are the best of them. The best Pokemon Ultra League, the best performing, the top performing, the most dominant Pokemon in the Ultra League is actually Shadow Feraligatr, which makes sense. This Pokemon is just a freaking beast. I mean, Feraligatr is an alligator. Alligators are beasts, so you know, like they rhyme. Tapu Fini and Scoldridge, like kind of like the crown prince and the crown princess of this thing, because Feraligatr, not Feraligatr, the other alligator, the one that the reptile one, okay? Scoldridge just hit everything in this cup. Nothing was Scoldridge energy. Like dark Pokemons aren't even a good answer to Scoldridge. Tapu Fini is just too good of a Pokemon. Just avoid having it aligned against Tentacruel. Tentacruel technically got a small nerf, so I didn't see it as much as last season. I didn't see it this season as much as last season. Cress, Giratina, Guzzlord. Those are just incredible good of Pokemons. Now let's talk about the top performing teams. These teams usually perform better at high MMR than the other teams, which I will be talking about, the meta ones, which perform better at low MMR. By low MMR, I don't mean like 1300. It's not technically low MMR. Meta teams perform better at, let's say, up to expert. After expert to legend, top performing teams are kind of better. Above legend, top performing teams are actually the way to do it. And the best performing team according to PvP is actually Tapu Fini, followed with Scoldridge and Giratina. This team has just coverage against everything because this thing is weak to poison. This thing, technically, you have 2 answers to poison in the back. Those are weak to... this thing is weak to dark. This destroys the dark. This has a neutral play into dark. You lose to grass in the lead. You destroy grass in the back. So there is no straight answer. As an example, this thing loses to rock. Those 2 destroys the rock. Another solid team according to PvP as like another top performing team, which is A/ with Poliwrath and Tapu Fini. If you don't have Poliwrath, you could Registeel. Yes, sir. Who doesn't have a Poliwrath and has Registeel? I don't know what to tell you. Like, go read the comments with me. If you want to run ABA Steel, that's on you. Okay. If you get a Charizard to the face, that's not my problem. But technically, I do love pairing Poliwrath with A-Slash because they kind of cover each other as well. They do struggle both against an Annihilate, but technically if Poliwrath gets a Scald debuff, well, if you don't get a Scald debuff, just go straight Icy Wind. And like, it's kind of also bulkier than Annihilate. You can give Annihilate some tough time. Another solid team. This is actually, I call it noob-friendly team. This team, you don't need the skills. You just tap your phone. You look at the top right corner. You should always have a super effective or a neutral move of either of those two moves. Like as an example, Cress, you see Dark, you throw Moonblast. You see Grass, you throw Moonblast or Future Sight. Feraligatr, you use it as a safe swap. You could use Giratina as a safe swap and Feraligatr just to sweep. Technically, you're weak to Talonflame in the lead if you don't run Future Sight and you have 2 Talonflame answers. Someone asked me about a Charizard team on the last Ultra League video. So in this video is sponsored by the guy who asked about Charizard. No, it's actually, no, we're not sponsored. So I tried my best to make a Charizard team, to find a good Charizard team. And I think this is the best / the only Charizard good team. Charizard, you could pair it with Tapu Fini and Giratina. You could replace Giratina with Annihilate, but technically I prefer Annihilate more. If you see a Crest lead, just go to Charizard, and usually Crest lead will have Feraligatr, and then you lose. Hey, okay, I said Charizard has some weaknesses in the meta. Another solid team, the Guzzlord team. You guys know how much I love using Guzzlord, so I do love Guzzlord, and I know like people pair Guzzlord with Tentacruel. I don't. I prefer it with Ampharos. I do like Ampharos, and I like this core. Usually my third is Tapu Fini or like Giratina. But Cress is an option you could use. Now, moving into the top meta team. So if you are someone who is expert or below, I do recommend this team more. Why? These teams tend to be like to stall the battle long enough, so you can like have more ways, like longer time to think how you can clap your opponent. And the best team according to PvP, if you look at this, top 3 PvP, Registeel, Feraligatr, Giratina. It's kind of Regi double Ghost. This guy here has a Ghost fast move if you don't know. The Guzzlord team, the team I saw everyone using, I don't use this, I use this. But the team that I saw most people using, which is Guzzlord, Tenta, and Trev, technically you're weak to Annihilate and Poliwrath. You have 2 stuff that destroy Annihilate and Poliwrath. Another solid team for Guzzlord is like Guzzlord double Alligators. Okay, Steel, double Alligators, double Reptiles. If you don't have Regi, you could use Guzzlord. But, okay, that's not why you are all here. You're all here to see the Dragonite team that I will be using. I'm going to be using Dragonite with Tapu Fini and Feraligatr. I love this team. I made so many videos about Dragonite. And if you want to check a video about this team, there is a video, Tapu Fini and the Dragonite to crush the Ultra League meta. I went, I think, 12 or 13. No, I went 13-2 with this team. Dragonite double water. I lost lead in like 9 or 10 matches out of those 13. Literally. And just shows how dominant this team is. But it kind of needs some like skill. And you kind of need to know your matchup, and you need to expect what the opponent backline is. So I do recommend going and watching this video. A Talonflame team, it also can be a Charizard team, but Talonflame kind of does better with Virizion than a Charizard. Like this is a very old core, Tina with Talonflame. This is a team that back in the days Mr. Wallower Pogo used to run, just because it's a very like very easy to obtain core. The YTX version of this team, another accessible Pokemon, Gira, Muck, Empoleon. You could just run Poliwrath instead of the Empoleon. You could run also Drapion over the Muck. A solid Guzzlord team as well. You could run Guzzlord with Tapu and Scaldridge. The problem with this team is that Tentacruel is just extremely tough to beat. The Matt Peer team, okay? It's technically not Matt Peer team, but it's Jamie Finn, the guy who make videos about triple shadow teams. You all know the famous shadow YouTuber. Yeah, I think Jamie Finn, I talked to him and he said to run Annihilate instead of Polyrath because it's kind of better. I prefer Polyrath more, but I've never used this team. So he's the expert. He said Annihilate is better. There is a video with Polyrath about this team, which is Legend in the Ultra League with this non-legendary team. Feat, Matbeard, 87, Pokemon Go PvP. And yeah, that's pretty much it for today. So we tried to keep it around 8 minutes, but we couldn't. So yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching today's video. And thank you so much. And best of luck to everyone who's trying to hit a new milestone. If you need coaching, I still offer coaching, especially like closer to the end of the season. And yeah, thank you so much. Sorry, and if you need coaching, feel free to reach out through DMs. Just send me a DM on Discord or on Twitter. Anywhere. And I will be glad to help you out. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.